Welcome everybody, it's Rusty Money here. This is a channel full of live streams, challenges, let's plays, and more. So I hope you enjoy this next creation. Welcome back everybody. It's your friend Rusty Money here for another episode of Crustu's Homestead Survival Challenge here on Ladyhill with myself, Rusty Money. Well, we are now into April, and I just finished watching Crustu on YouTube and learned a few new things, let's say. Well, it is April. We only got $33,000. I've done a few contracts off camera. It was the ones I mentioned in the last episode, and I haven't done any other ones, so I didn't really make a whole lot more money. But what we do got going on is it's time to put some more seed in the ground, and it's a good thing that I have been paying attention to the crop calendar for this map, because we're going to have to do something a little different than what most of the other players playing on other maps are able to do. Well, you can see here we already got 2 pallets of eggs, a partial third pallet. And if we go over here to our greenhouses, you can see our mushroom greenhouse has got 2 pallets of mushrooms, and my melon greenhouse has got 2 pallets of melons. You know, this melon greenhouse was kind of like my passive income, but let me tell you, it's really passive because it is slow. I don't know if you need to use a bigger one, but yeah, it is slow. Alright, then we've got our other little greenhouse here, and we've got 2 pallets of lettuce and 3 pallets of strawberries already. And then our last greenhouse down here, we've got a couple of, oh no, 3 pallets of tomatoes. Nice. I have not moved any of this to the bale storage shed yet, pallet storage shed, which we have over there, where our hay bales are. You can see over here if we take off running. Yeah. So we could put our pallets in there. I just haven't put them in there yet, but we've got enough hay in there for a while. We do have, let's see, well, we'll just show you instead of having you look in that little tiny menu as we walk into the barn. So the cows, we already have 1,000 liters of milk from our 3 milk cows, and our little Angus cows are now 9 months old, and we've got 2 of those. And you can see our feed is doing really well in our cow barn. But the one thing we are going to have to maybe do is I'm going to have to maybe buy just a little bit more chicken feed. And there's one other reason why I'm going to have to buy chicken feed, and I will discuss that with you now. So here is the crop calendar for Ladyhill. And as you can see here, you can't even put barley seed in the ground in Ladyhill until September, and then you harvest it in June and July. So I think in the beautiful place called Ladyhill, which I believe is like an Irish map, I could be wrong. So over in Ireland, maybe like barley and also wheat are more like a cover crop. So we're going to have to do sorghum. So if we go down here, you can see we can plant sorghum and then we harvest it in August and September. Okay, and then if we keep going down, you can see that in October and November is when you can plant wheat, but you can't harvest it then until July or August. That's really going to screw up the crops for this this season, our year one. So we're going to have to go with sorghum. And then the other two crops I have chose to do is we'll do also corn for pigs and stock up the corn in the silo. I think we can keep our corn, you know, whatever crops we get, we can keep in a silo. I don't think we have to sell those. I could be wrong, but we are going to do corn because I don't got a lot of other choices. And then we're going to do a field of oats. We can still plant oats, and then we harvest the oats in July and August. So, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to get busy putting some crop in the ground. And hopefully I'm kind of playing this in the right type of manner. Now, our friend Krusty is finished with year one, everybody, and has edited some of the goals for each year, especially when it comes to eggs and honey. We got 160 liters left in our fuel tank. Let's fill up. So we necessarily don't have to do the required amount that was originally required for this challenge. Although, you know me well enough, most of you. New viewers and subscribers might not know me very well yet, but I'm all about trying it like it's meant to be created. So we're going to try and go for the original goals developed for this challenge. It's just going to be a little struggle to see if we can meet them. We are going to have to implement more chickens. I do have a chicken pen in mind. And thank goodness I watched Krusty test one chicken pen because I was going to use that one, and I'm glad I decided not to use it now because it only holds 1,500 liters of feed. So thank you to Krusty. We now know that we won't be using that chicken pen, but I've got a different one in mind. I've had a different one in mind for quite a while. Just wasn't sure if I wanted to use it. I have used it before, so that is that's the next downfall, I guess, if you will. Okay, so now we need to decide what crops are going to go where. So with this one, we could plant our oats. And what field do I want to put the oats in? I think I'm going to put the oats right down here in the middle field. We can drive right over our crops. We're you know, we're not playing with crop destruction. Now the other thing I've thought about doing is putting me little pathways across those, but I haven't built those pathways yet. I wanted to put the crop in the ground first. So I think I'm gonna go with, let's see, now that would be a decent sized cornfield right there, sorghum field over there. We might actually put the oats over here. Let's put the oats in this field, the one to the right of the John Deere right now. So we'll get our oats in here. Let's see. We'll turn it on and let's plant some oats in this field. We are planting oats. We're gonna put oats in this one. I think we'll put corn in the middle field then, and then over in what appears to be like the bigger field of the three, I'm going to put sorghum in this field because you kind of need a pretty good sized field to get a decent amount of sorghum. So we're going to do sorghum. Now, somebody needs to help clarify, because one point I think I understand, and the next point I'm thinking to myself in my head, you know, this is a homestead. You are trying to, you know, raise your homestead all by yourself, per se. And the crops you grow and the, you know, the production stuff you get that are all a part of the goals, do you actually have to sell everything? Now what I mean by that is hey, if I chose not to sell my sorghum and I chose not to sell an excess amount of corn, why can't you keep that? It's a homestead. You're trying to operate that homestead off of those products when you get your new livestock for the new year. But I don't know. I do know that this first year, though, we are allowed to buy from the store. So I would think that the concept would be is that whatever crops you grew in year one, you would be able to keep. Because in year two, you can't buy from the store, and you need livestock. So how are you going to feed them? The only way you're going to feed them is if you can keep your crops from the prior year of harvest. Because there's no way you're going to wait until, you know, it comes the month of harvesting and you buy your livestock so then you can feed them and hopefully meet the required goals for that livestock in those few short months before the end of the year. So, yeah, like it or leave it, I think I'll be keeping my crops. That's just me. I do have to agree with Krusty, though. I am glad that he changed it for honey. I warned him. I warned him about honey before he started this challenge, that it was super slow. Because I did Zorch Farming's one tile challenge on Calmlands. Now I didn't take the one tile challenge near as far as other creators, because I did Krusty's 200 horsepower challenge on Calmlands and FS25 and took that a very long ways. I had almost 400 hours on the game save in FS25, so I just didn't want to play Calmlands that much. But the point is when I did Zorch Farming's one tile challenge on Calmlands for FS25, I did some beehives and the honey was very slow. And then, you know, of course, just like in real life, there's no bees during winter. So from like, what is it, like, oh, I think I think my bees came back in March, and I think they leave you in like November or something like that, maybe. Might even be October. So October to March, you don't got any, you know, honey production from bees. But I'm still gonna try and meet the original goals for honey. I'm probably not gonna implement any more beehives than those 2 big ones I get over there. We'll just see what they do for us. If I do implement another one, it might only be 1. Recording this beginning of this episode here on Saturday morning. Quite wide awake. Just got a lot of things going on in my mind about things coming up in real life, and just didn't sleep well. So I've been up since like 4 a.m. basically. Got to go to work here in about an hour. I got to go to work, and then after work today, we're going out of town to get some new cell phones, and well, then when we get home, maybe I'll live stream, but I don't know, because I might be pretty tired for being up at 4 a.m. So yeah, if I did live stream, hopefully I saw you there. Hopefully the live stream went well. But right now we don't know that, because it's Saturday, and this video will probably come out Monday morning. Alright, well, we are getting this here oat field pretty well planted. I think I'm going to go ahead and finish this oat field off camera, everybody, and probably even potentially put in the other 2 fields of crop off camera, maybe one of them in a time lapse. We will see what my mood is. We are in April. Right now there's not very many good contracts. I haven't taken up any wood transports. It's very tempting, but I'm trying to actually, I think, kind of stay away from the forestry side of the game for this challenge. That's one thing I've noticed already, and that's very unusual for myself, because I love the forestry side of Farming Simulator. But I feel that this is a homestead challenge, and it's not really has anything to do with forestry. So I've just been kind of, I don't know, not doing them yet. Been doing a lot of cultivating, a lot of weeding, some plowing contracts. That's about it. Did one harvesting contract, but I have done quite a few contracts though. Okay. Well, I'm gonna continue here, everybody, putting in this oat field and possibly the next 2 fields. We'll be back with you shortly. Hello everybody. Well, we are mowing grass on this here contract field. We now have $61,000 so far. And this mowing contract is going to give us another 1,000. And there is something back at the homestead that we are going to purchase and place on our property. Our grass field is grown, it's ready to harvest, but I think I'll wait and harvest it probably in June, as in a part of the next episode. We don't have anything good in used sales right now. I've done a few contracts off camera to get that money up there. Did some fertilizing contracts, bought some fertilizer. You should see some of that in screenshots after we collect on this contract. Did some more weeding contracts, so weeding and fertilizing, and I think that's the main ones that I have done. We are now into May. Our egg production was getting full at the chicken barn, so I had to move. I moved 2 of the pallets to the pallet storage shed. I still have all other pallets still at their original point, most of them in the greenhouses. But we are going to place down a production mod that is going to help us in year 2. And also get maybe a few things started here at the end of year 1. I have reached out to Krusty and asked if productions that produced, more than one item per se, even like kind of like all-in-one productions, if they were allowed. And yes, they are allowed, just as long as you don't get a speedy increase in production. That's the only thing I'm really not aware of, is if this mod does that, because I've never used it. Either way, if it does it, I'm just probably gonna let it be, to be honest. It's a production mod that I have always wanted to use and have not used it. Actually just installed it for this gameplay, but I've been wanting to use it forever. We also have the ability to customize it with solar panels on. I don't know what that's going to do, but one of the things in this challenge was to either put down a windmill that generates money or use solar panels. Now, I've used a different money generator mod, like your propane tanks, but they don't pay a lot of money. So, that was even kind of before I knew we were supposed to put down a wind generator or use solar panels. But now we are going to collect on that contract and show you the screenshots from some of the previous contracts. So collect this $1,010. And there is some other contracts there. There is actually another little mowing contract, but I don't think we'll do that. We might take on this Teddy contract. We're going to accept that for $2,863. And we will do that contract. But before we do that, right now you should see the screenshots and the purchase of fertilizer from previous play. Okay, well, let's head on up to the homestead. We will place our production mod, and then we will go do that teddying contract. Teddy some grass to hay for just about $3,000. I'm still really enjoying this map. We're recording here on Sunday night, October 19th. Hopefully, maybe put this public to YouTube for Monday, if not, maybe Wednesday. So we'll pull over here into our homestead, drop off the mower, get hooked up to the Teddy, and we're gonna place down a production point. And again, this is a production point that I've been wanting to use for a long time, but I'm gonna take the risk because also it hasn't been updated. So I don't know if there's any issues or if we'll have issues. We will just find out, I guess, as we play forward. Let's drop that right there. Let's get this moved up a little bit. You can see our 2 pallets of eggs there in the shed now. Alright, we'll get hooked up to the Teddy. And we'll drive over this direction, kind of. I already know where we're going to place this, what do I want to say? Where we're going to place this, production mod. Let's see now. We potentially need to, let's see. Well, we'll just leave it right here. And let's take a look. Okay, I think we're going to put it in this area. And I want this one right here. I want this, what do you call it? The one production. Yeah, the one production. And we're going to get this lined up in here. Kind of going to get it tucked in here a little bit. Trying to use our space wisely. Yep, we're going to go right here. Okay, that put down cement. Oh, and I forgot we were going to customize that. Darn it. I was going to put solar panels on that, everybody. I totally spaced that off. Well, I guess we'll just forget the solar panels. Okay, well now we can fix our ground textures and our pathways and all of that here later. But I think that will work for what I want to do. So there it is. That will be able to do a lot of things for us here on this challenge. Alright, let's go do that contract. Oh, the other thing I was gonna do. Yeah, the other thing I was gonna do. is that in here? It is in containers, maybe? Let's see. Yeah, it is. Okay, and this is fairly big, actually. Okay. Could get it hidden in there. What if we can put it over here? Now, I'd ask Krusty if I could use a manure buy point. Not just for a greenhouse reason, but for something different and something different to use for fertilization, like using manure spreaders. So, he gave me the okay to use a manure buy point. So I think we're going to use a manure buy point, and I'm going to use this as an external thought process. So I'm going to work it out over here into the store property. As we are buying it at the store externally. Okay, we are back, and I have found and figured out a way to put in that manure buy point. So we are going to put it back right here, but what we need to do is we need to shut the toggle free mode. So here we are with it, and we need to toggle free mode is off. Let's turn it on. So we're at 800 even dollars, and it forms to the ground. Let's go right here. Alright, I think that'll work. Sweet. Alright, well, we have that done. That is done for year 2 now. I hope everybody is okay with that. I could have put it over here in my property, but I wanted it to be treated as like being externally from the homestead. And since I have the capability with this property here, the periphery of the map being free on this map, I chose to put it over there at the store. So we have a little travel expense to get to that manure. Alright, where is... Oh, this contract is right here. Right here. Right next to the homestead. It looks like... Let's see now. Is it right here? No. Okay. Where is it? Is the contract not working? The Teddy contract that we took up? Alright, where are we going? Oh, okay. I think the Teddy contract is broken, everybody, because this is a straw field. What if we put our things down and we try to Teddy what is not here? Will it still recognize it? Let's try. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, that is really weird. We have mysterious grass. Look at that. The grass is rendering in as we move forward across the field. That is very weird. But the contract seems to be working. Our completed work meter is raising up to 5% now. %. All right, so we have the one production, kind of like the all-in-one production. We can make milk. We can make cheese. Or I shouldn't say we can make milk. We can make cheese. We can make bread. We can make, what's the other thing we need to make? Let's just look at that thing a minute. What is the other thing? Oops, let's see down here. So we can make barley flour, buffalo milk, buffalo mozzarella, butter, buttermilk, canola oil, carton roll, chaff to silage, cheese, corn flour, dark brown wood mulch, fire logs, grape juice, grass to silage, grass to hay, liquid fertilizer, MDF boards, bottled milk, natural wood mulch, OSB boards, oat flour, olive oil, paper roll, planks wood, planks long, prefab wall wood, raisins, red wood mulch, rice flour, two different types, so from regular rice and long grain rice, rice oil, silage hay to TMR, silage hay straw to TMR, silage hay straw, sugar beet to TMR, silage hay straw, sugar beet, mineral feed to TMR, smoker pellets, solid fertilizer, sorghum flour, sugar beet cut sugar, sugar beet sugar, sugarcane sugar, sunflower oil, wheat flour, wheat soybeans to pig food, wheat soybeans maize to pig food, wheat soybeans maize, potatoes to pig food, wheat soybeans maize, sugar beet to pig food, whole wheat flour, wood beam wood, wood to wood chips. Wow, that makes a lot of stuff. And this is still really weird. What looked like a harvested like oat field where the straw was picked up is now all of a sudden a grass field where we're tedding in it to hay. It is just rendering in as we travel across it. It didn't even look like it existed before. That was very weird. We're teddying this grass in the rain. Yeah, in the rain in May. We don't got anything real interesting in used sales. We do have to be figuring out a way to possibly get a different tractor with the front PTO so we're able to do our sugar beet harvest. We're running low on fuel. Our tractor here has 23 hours on it now, and it needs fuel, or needs repaired. Repaired pretty bad. But I believe, everybody, we're gonna call this an episode. So if you enjoyed this episode, please drop me a tasty treat on that like button, which is better known by myself as a cop battery and by you all people as delicious donut. Don't forget to leave us a comment in the comment section, and please share a box of donuts with all your friends and family by sharing the videos and the live streams from the channel. But for myself, RustyMoney, we will see you all on the flip side. Have a good one. Thank you, everybody. Please like, subscribe, and comment.